Hello, beautiful friends. Welcome back to another slow flow. We are on our second week of Niyamas, so we'll be focusing on Santosha or contentment. If you didn't already know, over December and January, we've been going over our yamas and niyamas, which are the first two limbs of the 8 limbs of yoga, according to Patanjali. And these go over guidelines and values for how we interact with the world, but also turn up within. And Santosha or contentment basically means that no matter who you are or what you have or whatever cards you've been dealt with in life, you practice being content with that. And that doesn't necessarily mean you become passive, but it also means that you let go of attachment to kind of wanting more or needing something to happen in order for you to become happy. And we're going to be working up into a peak pose Siddhasana, which is what's known as enlightenment pose. It's pretty much what I'm in now, a little bit different. It's a seated position, and it's often used for meditation, kind of a step between Sukhasana, which is our cross-legged, our easy pose, and our Padmasana, which is our lotus pose. It's kind of a good in-between. So we'll be opening our hips quite a bit, a little bit of our spine in a very kind of slow and gentle manner, and we'll finish our practice with some meditation and pranayama as well. So let's jump onto our backs to begin our practice. Landing in a comfortable position for you. If you haven't already, just starting to close down the eyes. And starting to witness the breath. Noticing the inhales flow through the nose as it fills up the belly, the ribs, and the chest. Letting the exhale drop us down towards the ground. Allowing our body to become heavy. Letting go of control, letting go of needing to hold and grasp. And really our journey of yoga is a lot about kind of releasing from the external world, releasing expectations, releasing attachments, and understanding that everything that we need we already have. And that means that wherever we go, no matter how many possessions we have or do not have, we always have opportunities to find connection and find fulfillment within ourselves. Maybe it's just as simple as connecting with the breath, letting the eyes close down and finding moments of stillness and pause. Can you notice if any tension has arisen in the body? Maybe in the face or in the jaw, or the eyebrows, maybe shoulders or hips. And see if you can take one full deep breath to release this tension. If you notice your mind in this practice starting to drift away from the breath, maybe going to any to-do list or thinking before what's happening before or after this class, know that that's totally normal. Simply try and encourage yourself to come back. Come back to the breath and the body. Let's start by hugging the right knee towards the chest. Left leg might extend long out on the ground, or you might keep it bent. Maybe you shift the knee from side to side. Just creating some circles within the hips. And we're going to play with a little bit of external rotation and internal rotation. So if you come back through center, we'll make this active to begin with. See if you can stack your knee over your hip, and then try turning your foot inwards and your knee outwards with as much kind of strength of your external rotators as you can. Come back through center, then take your right hand, press on the outside of the right thigh as you try travel your right foot to the outside of the right mat. Come back through center, let's try it again. So take the right foot towards the left and the right knee towards the right, while still keeping the knee above the hip. And then come back through center, let's try the other side. So rotating the right foot out, keeping the right knee above the hip, maybe pressing with the right hand to encourage the internal rotators to fire up. Nice, and then come back through center. See if you can take your left hand around the top of the right ankle. Right hand might come on top of the shin. And then see if you can press your right elbow towards the right leg to help rotate the knee outwards. And if you needed a bit more support, you can bring the left knee behind the right ankle. Another option, if you felt pretty open already, is that you could roll yourself up, kind of drawing the nose in the direction of the knee, but know that this is, the direction of the ankle, but just know that this is quite intense to begin with, so just be careful and gentle with yourself. Maybe taking a little shift from side to side. And then we'll find our half happy baby. Now this might just look like having the knee towards kind of the armpit and the hand on top of the shin, or you might be able to take hold of the ankle or the outside of the right foot, thinking about drawing the right knee towards the ground while also trying to kick the right foot towards the sky. You might draw the right foot in a little bit more and then extend it out, making this a little bit more dynamic. And then when you're ready, coming back through center, keep the right knee bent, left hand comes over the right thigh, draw it across the body to twist. Right hand extends to the side. Right shoulder draws down towards the ground. And then finding your way back through center. We'll swap it out to the other side. So extend the right foot out long. Left knee pulls in towards the chest. Maybe you're taking a couple of circles from side to side. And then start to lift the left knee on top of the left hip. Active rotation here, so try, maybe even flex the left foot, that might help with a bit of activeness. Try travel the left foot towards the right. Maybe the left knee towards the left a little bit. And then come back through center, place the left hand around the outside of the left thigh as you take the left foot towards the left. You're pressing on the thigh to kind of bring some weight and intensity into the hip joint. Okay, come back through center, try to travel that left foot around. And then coming back through center and then other way. Nice. Okay, see if you can take your left hand on top of the left ankle. You might need to lift yourself up to do that. Think about pulling the left foot a little bit closer towards you. And of course, you can bring the right knee behind the left foot to bring a bit of support. One more option is to kind of lift the head towards the leg. You could even kind of cradle your shin if that felt good. One more breath. Rolling back down, let's find our half happy baby again. That could just look like hand around the top of the shin, or you could bring it up a little bit higher on the leg. Maybe you go in and out. Coming back through center, take the right hand over the left thigh and then twist the left knee towards the right. Left hand extends to the side. See if you can look down your fingertips. One more breath here. And starting to roll yourself back. Grab the back of the legs, roll yourself up to a seat. Let's bring the soles of the feet together. Take the knees out wide to find our Baddha Konasana, or our bound angle pose. Hands might come around the top of the ankles, letting the knees drop out wide. Take a deep breath in through the nose, lift as tall as you can. And then as you exhale, hinging forward at the hips, letting the heart space travel towards the top of the toes. Elbows might press into the legs to help drop the knees down a little bit more. And see if you can curl the chin towards the chest, almost like you're trying to look towards your belly button. And this is going to help open the spine a little bit more, finding a bit more flexion. Take 2 more deep breaths here. Filling up through the belly, the ribs and the chest. Exhaling to soften and fold forward a little bit more if you can. Walk yourself back. Let's bring the hands behind the hips and then take your feet towards the edges of the mat, maybe even slightly over them. Let's just draw our knees from side to side, almost like a window wiper, kind of moving from one direction in the other direction. So what's happening here is that we're externally and internally rotating the leg, kind of just like what we did before. And this is going to help warm up our hips, so when we come into that seated position for our Siddhasana, we are warm and we can sit comfortably. You might even stay in the center for a little bit longer, travel your knees wider, and then come back to one side. And that's going to help open up the adductors a little bit more. You can almost think happy baby here, but just in a seated position. We'll take about 2 to 3 more breaths here, inhaling as you come through center, exhaling as you drop the feet to one direction. If you felt like a little bit more, walk your hands a little bit closer towards your hips and try to keep the spine really long. Next time your knees travel over to the left, can you hold there? Walk the left hand behind you a little bit more. Breathe in as you reach the right hand behind you. And then as you exhale, rotate that right hand behind the left hand, dropping the chest towards the ground. Breathe in to open. Exhale to close. 2 more, breathe in. Breathe out. 1 more in your own time. Find your way back through center, and let's try that on the other side. So placing the right hand behind you, turning fingertips away. Breathe in, lift the left hand high, expand the chest. Exhale, twist the left hand towards the right, drop the chest down. 3 more times in your own breath. People might feel this a little bit differently. You might feel this in the back as you twist through the thoracic spine. Some people feel it in kind of the hips and the legs. And then when you're ready, come back through center. Cross over the feet. Let's find our way in a downward facing dog. So spread the fingertips wide. Let's tuck onto toes and lift the hips up and back. You might drop one heel down and then the other heel down, coming high onto the toes and then drawing them down. Might move the hips from side to side, same with the shoulders, so you're really open and kind of warming them up. Check in with your focus and your attention here. If you notice your thoughts floating away, just keep encouraging it to come back. Take about 1 more breath here. Can you make your arms really long, activating through the fingertips, the knuckles, lifting shoulders away from ears. Breathe in as you roll forward into your plank position. And then as you exhale, we send it straight back, lifting up the hips, drawing the heels towards the ground, pressing through the hands. Breathe in to roll forward. Exhale to lift the hips. Eye gaze draws between the feet. Breathe in. Exhale. Breathe in this time. As we exhale, lower the knees towards the ground, walk the hands slightly more forward, and then ripple through the spine as you come down. A couple of different options where we can go next. We can head into our supported cobra pose, our sphinx. If you felt like a little bit more, you could press through the hands and try to lift the elbows up. Really try to squeeze the glutes here, roll the shoulders back and down, let the heart space forward. If you felt like more, you could walk your hands back a little bit. Take a deep breath in to lift. As you exhale, see if you can bend the elbows, look over your left shoulder. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, twist towards the right. Breathe in, come back. Exhale, twist towards the left. Inhale, come back. Exhale, twist towards the right. Roll yourself down towards the ground. Press through the hands. Send your hips back over your heels for child's pose, Balasana. Breathe in, roll yourself up into tabletop position. And as you exhale, send it back. One more time like that. Breathe in. This time as we exhale, tuck toes, Ardha Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in as you sweep the right toes high towards the sky, 3-legged dog. Start to bend the knee, opening the hip a little bit, softening that left leg. Take another deep breath in, draw the right shoulder down. Exhale, transfer the weight forward, right knee to right wrist. Slot the foot down and then find your Kapotanasana, pigeon pose. Okay, if you need to, you can walk your hips back a little bit more for your 90-90, or you can find your full pigeon here. Take your fingertips out front. We're going to find some ripples here again. So breathing in to lift. Exhale to fold forward. Breathing in to lift. Exhaling to fold forward. 2 more times. Breathe in. Exhale. 1 more, breathe in, this time hold up. See if you can walk your fingertips back a little bit more, get alert in the legs, press the feet down towards the ground, shoulders away from the ears, so this turns into a little bit more of a back bend. Take a deep breath in through the nose, and then as you exhale, bring the hands towards the ground, tuck onto the left toes, step right foot back towards left, Ardha Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Let's try that on the other side. Breathe in, sweep the left toes high, 3-legged dog. Exhale, start to bend the left knee without opening the left shoulder too much. Deep breath in. Exhale, roll forward, left knee to wrist. Slide the left knee down to the ground. Walk the right toes back. Bring the hands forward a little bit more. Breathe in, lift the chest, shoulders roll back. Exhale, ripple down towards the ground. Inhale, slowly roll up again. Chin comes up last, and then as you exhale, folding forward. 2 more times, breathe in. Exhale. Breathe in. This time, hold at the top. Maybe you walk your hands back a little bit, get alert in your legs. So a little squeeze of the glutes, draw the shoulders back. Press the legs towards the ground. Take another deep breath in. And then as you exhale, walk the hands forward, tuck right toes, step the left foot back. A little pedal out. Roll yourself forward into tabletop position, and before we head into kind of our seated section, bring the hands towards the ground, cat and cows. Inhale, drop the belly down, lift the eye gaze, draw the shoulders back on the spine. And then as you exhale, round, press and push. Maybe a little roll from side to side if that feels good here. Using a couple of breaths to move in different directions. Try 1 more breath. And then when you're ready, cross over the feet, find your way back. So we're going to practice our Siddhasana now. Now, if you know that you wanted to sit up onto something, maybe a pillow or a blanket, just to lift your hips a little bit more, that can feel really nice, especially for the joints. You can absolutely find Sukhasana, which is our easy pose. If you wanted to try find Siddhasana, I'm going to try cross or bring the ankles on top of each other. And then your top foot, you're going to squeeze the toes kind of between the crease of the thigh and the calf. And then your bottom toes are going to do the same, just on the underside. So you're kind of like jamming your toes into the creases. And you want to try find a tall spine here. So lifting tall through the crown of the head on the breath in. Filling out the belly, the ribs, the chest, not too high up. And then as you exhale, letting go, releasing. You might close down the eyes once you have settled into a position. And the pranayama we'll practice today is our Shatali breath, which is a cooling breath. You might want to open your eyes for this. Generally, we do this at the end of quite an intense heated class, but it's also really lovely to be able to do any time to help drop us down, to help move us into that parasympathetic nervous state. So it's really slow and steady. And it's breathing through a rolled tongue. If you can't roll your tongue, then you can bring the tongue to the back of the teeth. Otherwise, what you'll do is, if you look at me, you'll breathe in through the tongue and then you'll slide the tongue back in and then exhale through the nose. So it looks like this. So as you breathe in, the cool air kind of cools the back of the throat as well as the tongue. And as you slide the tongue back in, the kind of saliva rehydrates the tongue. We'll do this a couple of times. Just take one deep breath in through the nose. Deep breath out through the nose, just when you're ready. Two more breaths. Once you're done, just breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. We'll be here for the next couple of minutes in a seated meditation. If you would prefer to finish this practice on the back in Shavasana, corpse pose, then please feel free to find that as well. And kind of a mantra that you can say to yourself while we sit here is, everything I need, I already have. Just noticing where your thoughts are at the moment. And if they have drifted away, can you encourage them very gently and kindly to come back to your breath. Come back to yourself, your home within. If you are on your back, just taking some subtle movements, eventually making your way up into a seat. And as we head out into the rest of the day, remember Santosha, contentment. No matter our situation, no matter who we are, where we are, what we have choices. We have a choice to create an inner world that reflects in our external world. Maybe you keep the hands down, or maybe bring your hands through heart center. Take a deep breath in, filling up the belly, the ribs, the chest. Deep breath out. I thank you so much for being here this I'm filming this in the afternoon, but maybe you are somewhere else in the day. But I thank you so much for being here with me. It was such a pleasure, and I think this is such an important value and quality that we can bring into our lives so that we create a more fulfilling and content life. And I hope to see you again sometime soon. Check out the other videos that we have on this channel over the month of December and January. And if you wanted to see some longer classes, you can head over to Patreon account. This is also a great way that you can support me in this channel and the free content that we create here. But I look forward to seeing you again soon. Namaste.